Here I am at one of my favorite places. I'm at BioCurious, which is a laboratory for people who are interested in engaging in biomedical type research. It's a nonprofit organization in Santa Clara. There are many things that I like about being here. Most importantly, I get to use all the lab equipment. I rent additional space right here, which is about 4 feet, where I conduct my electrophysiology experiments. What I do is I record small currents going through ion channel proteins which are found in nerve cell membranes. There are many people here who come to do their own research, just like I'm doing. And there are a lot of members who come here to get involved with community projects. So let's go to the whiteboard where I can give you a short sample of my teaching style. This is the laboratory whiteboard. My name is Ed Beck. And my academic credentials are PhD. PhD stands for Doctor of Philosophy. The word philosophy lends itself to a good teaching example of my style. The word philosophy is made up of two words from Latin, philo and sophia. Philo is the word for love in English, and sophia here, is the word for knowledge. There are several definitions in the dictionary for philosophy. The one that I like the most is the one that says that philosophy is a structured study of something, and that's what PhD students do when they go for their PhD. The English language has three major influences. One is Latin, the second is German, and the third is Greek. And under the Latin language, Latin spawned several languages, including Spanish, French, Portuguese, Romanian, and Italian. Collectively, these languages are called the Romance languages. Now, why would they be called the Romance languages? Because the Romans, back in the day, spoke Latin. See the word Roman and the word Romance? I have another word that I would like to introduce to you along the same lines as the philosophy that I had written up here earlier. The new word is philodendron. What's a philodendron? A philodendron is a plant that grows on a tree. So this word here, as you might guess, is Latin for tree. So philodendrons love trees. And it's interesting that this word came up because to the left of on the whiteboard, I previously drew out a lecture that I want to give in the near future in neuroscience. The word dendrites is included as part of my lecture. Now, this word, dendrites, was made up by anatomists long ago to describe the shape of a neuron that has a cell body and a long skinny axon. On the cell body, there are outgrowths that kind of look like funny hair coming off of the head. Anatomists call these dendrites. Now, what's in the word dendrites? You can see D-E-N-D-R, just like we see D-E-N-D-R in the word dendron. In fact, they call these dendrites because these outgrowths reminded the anatomists of little trees or branches growing out of the cell body. So they called them dendrites. They added the I-T-E-S to make it sound like little branches. So over top of these three languages and these spawned languages, you can write the word English. Because English is a mix of everything you see on the board. My teaching style, therefore, can be summarized by 4 pillars. The first is building vocabulary. The second is speaking English. The third is reading English. And fourth, writing English. As a graduate student and as a PhD scientist, I co-authored several articles published in scientific journals. And here is an example of what one of the data sets looks like. You can find these publications by doing a search on Google using the search terms Edward J. Beck, which is my name, and the co-author Covarrubias, C-O-V-A-R-R-U-B-I-A-S. My main contribution to the publication of these scientific articles was to collect the data, analyze that data, and prepare it in graphical form for the publication. I also contributed my proofreading and editing skills to the manuscript before it was submitted for publication. In addition to my scientific proofreading and editing skills, I also have creative writing skills. Back in 2013, I wrote a book. In the book, I described my experience being single and male in the Christian church. This is what the book cover looks like. These grapevines are an analogy of my teaching strategy for teaching students English skills. When I first inherited these grapevines with a property, it was just a tangled heap of vines, all just hovering very close to the ground. But with a little effort, I gave it some structure. Here's a piece of wood with wire that the vines are able to climb onto and grow. And now they are up to about 7 feet tall. And if you look closely, you can see that there are many, many grapes that are now growing. So many grapes that I might have to just cut some of them off so that the others can grow to maturity with a lot of volume of water in each one. In this analogy, the grapevines are your young student interested in learning English. And the little grapes that you see on the vines are the new vocabulary words that I will help them learn. The little grapes also represent the new reading and writing skills that they will learn with me as their teacher.